Oftentimes we hear stories about how brutal it was in Robben Island from people who have never even been there. You find out maybe it's scholars or maybe it's just people who lived long enough to tell the tale, but they've never been there, but they've heard stories from the people who have been there, telling stories about Nelson Mandela, telling stories about the experiences of President Jacob Zuma. I even once previewed a video of one of the guys, an imam who is anti-apartheid, was sharing a story about how brutal it was in Parliament, but he has never been there. He was explaining the story from the outside perspective, but today I have an inside perspective for you to understand from the man himself, President Jacob Zuma. Listen to what he had to say.
We did our 90 days in Pretoria, and finally we were charged. And our case took 3 months as well. So it was almost like 6 months. 3 months of detention, 6 months of the trial. And we were convicted, found guilty and convicted in December 1963. And then sent to Robben Island via Leeuwkop prison. This was something. To be in prison for 10 years. So we stayed there. Firstly, you think they are arresting us. They will serve it themselves, because we thought this is going to be quicker. Because some people who had been arrested in other countries had not spent 10 years. President Jomo Kenyatta, for an example, spent 5 years. So we thought 5 years, because he was a leader. We are just there. And of course, when we got arrested, President Mandela then had been arrested already in 1962. He was serving 5 years himself. So 5 years looked like is a common thing. But of course, in our case, one of ours, who was a leader of MK, was sentenced 20 years, Lombat Mbata. Others like Philip Matthews from Orlando, it was 12, John Maru, 11, and the majority of us, 10, I think only 5 who were sentenced 5 years, who were part of us. Here you had, like the ones I'm counting now, were actually the people who had recruited young people. And then it on the basis of that. In our group, everybody came almost from all provinces, this grouping. All in all, we were about 52 or something. So, Robben Island became another landmark. Here we were, sitting in Robben Island, and of course we used our being in Robben Island not just to sit and rot. Particularly we who came from Natal, particularly in Durban, who were used in these political classes, started the political classes on Robben Island. We were 5. It was Riot Mkwanazi, it was Sazi Ngongo, it was Msizeni Shedrack Mapumulo, it was Alfred Duma and myself. Partly because whilst we were there, people like Baba Stephen Dlamini, who was a trade unionist, who was a party leader, was in the ANC provincial executive, was one of our teachers politically, as well as Harry Gwala. So once we saw them, we said, well, we have more time here. Let us continue. So over lunch, we were conducting political classes. We were the nucleus that started political education in Robben Island. And it caught up like we've never seen. And Robben Island never went back. It became a political university.
This is not a new clip. This is an old clip. I think it was during those times when he was still the president of South Africa. he was given an opportunity to share his side of the story and the experience he had in Robben Island. Of course, if you have watched this before, there's no need for you to watch it again. There's no need for you to comment and say, this clip, we know it. You know it, so get out of here. There's people who don't know it, and they'll watch and they'll understand the perspective of President Jacob Zuma according to his side of the story, because it has never been told about him actually what happened, the beginning of his sentence, what was going on, his trial, what was happening. Everything happened. It has never been told, about by him. Or maybe if it was told, he hasn't spoken about it in many podcasts or many interviews to the point whereby many people are aware as to what happened to him. Because many people only asking themselves, why were these people arrested? If you don't know, President Jacob Zuma was arrested because he was found being one of the intelligence in the military wing Umkhonto weSizwe. He was found doing things that were against the apartheid regime, which was, of course, fighting in the side of the struggle of black people. But it was before the intelligence, forgive me. It was found doing into Zoktoitoya. It was found doing those things as a politic. And then only later on, when he was released, he then started joining Umkhonto weSizwe, and then joining the intelligence of Umkhonto weSizwe. I was wrong by saying what I say. So that's what happened. So they were arrested because they were political people speaking politics, conscientizing people. But according to him, he's saying that the political education as to the deep essence of South African politics, they had to learn them in Robben Island. That's why many people call Robben Island the school of politics. The political institution, the political university was Robben Island. So I'm doing this video just to give you an opportunity to hear from the man himself, explain himself as to how he felt, how it was for him. As much as his current politics now, being the MK party leader, trying to unite black people as an old Madala for the future of South Africa, which he won't even be there. I don't agree with that. I don't stand for that. I don't support that. I'm not an MK party member. Don't see me previewing this video for you about his experience in apartheid and Robben Island for you to think that I support his political party. I don't. I'm far from supporting the MK party. But I had to share this story from his point of view, because some of these things are not known. These are shocking news to the majority of people. Even me, I didn't know this. So, excuse me, COVID-19, but I don't have COVID-19. So, it's important for me to share this, because imagine me, I didn't know this. How many more people didn't know this from the perspective of President Jacob Zuma? But if you didn't know, now you know. It is what it is. Thank you very much.